Hi, Terry here, and welcome to Times Gone Tech. Well, I'm out at the Swan Creek target range on Saturday morning, as you can tell, and unfortunately we can't shoot because we're under a thunder warning. Apparently one of the range rules are that we can't shoot if for about 30 minutes. They have to shut the range down anytime there's thunder. It's because of the lightning risk. But we don't have to sit in our cars or go inside. We can stay out here, we just can't shoot. So anyway, what I'm going to do today is do a 1.5 year review of my Colt 1847 Walker as soon as it stops raining. So let me talk your ear off first while we're waiting, then I'll do some shooting whenever I can. So as you know, I got this gun. I don't want to be holding it up too much. The range masters might think I'm going to be trying to shoot, come out and give me a tongue lashing for holding the gun. So this is, like I said, my 1.5 year review. Now, as you know, or you may know if you watched the video, I bought this gun about 1.5 years ago. And I'll tell you what, the long story short version is I absolutely love the Colt Walker. I have fallen in love with this thing. So anyway, the Colt 1847 Walker. I actually learned a few things about the Walker that I didn't know when I bought it. Now, some of these came from other black powder enthusiasts who, watching the first video, shared that information with me, and some of it I got a little bit on my own just from doing a little more research, doing a little more reading. First of all, the gun itself was not called the Walker originally. Originally, it was known as the United States Model 1847, or USM 1847, or just M47. Getting a little wind blowing in here on my guns. Sam Colt actually gave it the name Walker. Now, he was trying to get into the civilian market, and he thought that by cashing in on Sam Walker's growing reputation down in Texas, that might help. Unfortunately, it didn't. As you know, only 1,100 were ever made, and actually of those, about 400 still exist. The most recent one, or the best, which is most recently sold for about $1.8 million in today's money. Now, in 1847, that would have been $44,500, something like that. So about $2 million today was worth about $45,000 back in 1847. Same buying power. And they sold originally for what today, in today's money, would be $100, which back in 1847 would have been about $2.50. Try walking into a gun store today and buying a brand new Colt Python in 357 Magnum for $100. It was a different world back then. So, again, just a few stats. Just my personal experience from owning the Walker, which I will show you when we get ready to shoot. Like I said, I don't want to hold it up with the range masters around in the rain and all. They might think I'm going to shoot it. But it is capable of reaching a muzzle velocity of 1,350 feet per second, which is past the speed of sound, which creates hydrostatic shock when it strikes the target, which does a lot more damage than just the bullet. I mean, it's not just a bullet hole, there's peripheral damage to the surrounding tissue as well. And it can deliver a whopping 500 foot-pounds of energy on target. Now, it's more likely you're never going to see that with a modern Walker, but it has been done. So with certain configurations, certain types of powder, certain types of projectiles, right? You know, with a good strong tailwind behind you, you know, the grace of God and a long-handled spoon, it will do it. It has done it before. So that puts it up even with some low-grade 357 Magnums and even a couple of snub-nosed 44 caliber Magnums. Now, as far as just carrying the thing around goes, it weighs in at 5 pounds fully loaded. And you might think, man, that is a lot, all right? But the thing is, when I put it on a holster and I'm actually just walking around with it, I can just forget I'm even wearing it. I can forget I'm even carrying the thing. You know, I mean, back in 1974, when I was 18 in Army basic training, I could do a forced march carrying 60 pounds of gear. I can still do 5 pounds, even though a few years have passed since then. And I go walking around in the forest behind my house all the time, just out walking around, sometimes mushroom hunting, sometimes just seeing what's out there. And I carry it with me a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times. And frankly, I just forget I have it on. There's also another YouTube channel called Minute of May, and she's got a video out on the Colt Walker in which she loads and shoots it with 58 grains, and she's able to hold and shoot it one-handed. So, you know, the weight and the recoil just really isn't that much of a problem. I mean, as far as I can see. I mean, it kind of depends on the size of your hand, the strength, you know, your grip, and arm length, and all of that. A very small, thin-wristed, small-handed person might have a really hard time holding and shooting it. But I'm not having any problems with it. And you would think that a gun that big, that massive, weighing in at 5 pounds, you'd think it would have a really heavy trigger pull, but it doesn't. The trigger pull itself is actually very light, short, and smooth. I mean, this thing is really a joy to shoot. I'm not real accurate with it one-handed. I ain't real accurate with it two-handed, but I'm better two-handed than I am one-handed. But today I'm set up at about 12 yards. I'd guess it to be about 12 yards. I'll pace it out when the rain stops. And yeah, I'm going to fire a few rounds and let's see what we do, see what we get. But anyway, if you were thinking about getting a walker, but you were a little concerned about the size, you know, the massivity, the weight, and all that, I'm giving mine 5 thumbs up. I love it. I mean, even the design flaws in it. It only has one safety pin, a flaw Colt corrected later on in 1850. But yeah, only one safety pin. The loading lever tends to drop with every round. And, you know, it's actually those flaws that I kind of really like about it. It makes it unique. It's not just a big Army revolver. It's not a big, massive Navy revolver. It's very different. And I like that. I even like those design flaws. And I really have no interest in trying to make it shoot any better than it came out of the box. I don't even use slick shot nipples. And I'll tell you why on that. They didn't use them back in the 1850s. Now, I really have no interest in buying a cap and ball revolver and then trying to modify it so that it shoots better. I want it to shoot the same that it did back in ye olden days. That's part of the experience. I want to get that shooting experience that those Rangers had when they were, you know, out on the plains land with their walkers. So why would I want to improve it? I mean, that's like, to me, that's like, okay, the same thing with cartridge conversions. Why would I want to do that? Unless, and it is a part of history, it's part of American history, and if that's what you want to represent that part of American history, then that's fine. But buying a black powder revolver just so you can upgrade it to shoot cartridges, to me, is like buying a flintlock just so you can convert it to fire percussion caps. Why not just buy a percussion cap firing musket in the first place? Rain coming down harder. Okay. Anyway, if you've been thinking about getting a walker, my personal experience with mine is I highly recommend it. This is a fine shooter. The weight and the recoil, because it's so heavy, it absorbs most of the recoil. So it doesn't try to jump out of your hand every time you pull the trigger. And it's got that lower pressure curve of the black powder, so it's more of a push than a shove. It doesn't kick your arm back. It just kind of pushes it back. I like that with black powder. So anyway, here we are. I'll do some shooting when I can. Well, I was going to show you the target, but I'd have to show you the target pieces. It's just falling apart. There's just nothing left of it. Let's just say I'm not going to win any shooting competitions. Okay, I never was known for my marksmanship skills with a handgun. So anyway, there it is, the Colt 1847 Walker, or the M47 handgun. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Oh, and if you're wondering about how long these things can be kept loaded and still shoot, this one's been about 6 months. So let's find out.